There's a force that shapes warriors beyond muscle and might, a secret ritual that forges an unbreakable spirit and resilience no ordinary training can replicate. Have you ever wondered what truly separates an unstoppable warrior from a mere fighter, beyond raw talent or willpower? It's not just the hours spent in grueling drills or the scars earned in battle. It's something deeper, hidden in ancient rites whispered through generations, practiced in silence, far from the eyes of the world. Today, you'll step into this hidden world and glimpse the ancient ceremony known as Kage no Michi, the Path of Shadows. This is not a mere training regimen, it is a transformation, a crucible that burns away doubt and fear, leaving behind a warrior who walks through darkness unflinching and whole. The power of this ritual lies not in physical strength but in the forging of an unshakable will and a spirit that refuses to break. But to understand Kage no Michi, we must first meet Aiden. A young soldier, caught in the endless cycle of pushing past his physical limits without ever reaching the warrior's true essence. Like many, Aiden believed that sheer grit and brute force would carry him through. Yet, every battle left him drained, every challenge felt like a step backward. He was strong, but he wasn't unstoppable. Something fundamental was missing. Aiden's story begins in the barracks of a military camp, where the clang of metal and the bark of commands echoed daily. He was admired for his stamina and skill but haunted by a persistent feeling of inadequacy. No matter how much he trained, he could never quiet the voice inside that whispered of failure and fear. His comrades seemed to possess a calm resolve, an almost effortless confidence that he envied but couldn't grasp. One evening, as twilight bled into night, Aiden found himself wandering near the edge of the training grounds. The camp was quiet, but his mind was a storm. It was there he overheard a conversation between two elder warriors, their voices low and reverent. They spoke of Kage no Michi, the Path of Shadows, a ritual so old that few outside their circle even believed it existed. It was said to grant the power to endure beyond human limits, to become a warrior untouched by doubt or pain. Curiosity ignited, Aiden sought out these elders. He learned that Kage no Michi was not about fighting harder or faster but about embracing the shadows within, the fears, the weaknesses, the parts of oneself that everyone else tries to hide or deny. It was a path that demanded surrender before mastery, a paradox that confused him at first. How could giving in to darkness lead to strength? The elders explained that Kage no Michi was a secret ritual passed down through generations, a series of practices designed to strip away the illusion of control and expose the raw core of being. Only by facing the shadows head-on without flinching could a warrior transcend ordinary limits. It required more than courage, it demanded a kind of sacred discipline and a willingness to die to the self that clings to comfort and certainty. Aiden's skepticism battled with his desperation. He had tried everything else, endurance drills, meditation, mental conditioning. Nothing seemed to give him the inner fire his comrades displayed so naturally. The Path of Shadows promised something radically different. He decided to commit to the ritual, knowing that it would change him forever, for better or worse. The first step was a public declaration, an ancient practice meant to bind the warrior's word with the weight of honor. Aiden stood before his unit and declared his intention to walk the path of shadows, to embrace the darkness within and emerge transformed. This was not a casual promise, it was a vow that would make retreat a betrayal not just to himself but to those who witnessed it. This declaration was the first crack in Aiden's old self. The part of him that clung to safety and doubt felt threatened, yet the part that hungered for true strength stirred awake. The elders warned him that the path would test him relentlessly, not just in battle but within his own mind and soul. There would be moments when giving up seemed the only option, when the shadows would seem to swallow him whole. But the ritual demanded consistency, daily practice without exception. Aiden was taught that the warrior's spirit is not forged in grand gestures but in the relentless, unbroken repetition of small, deliberate acts. The elders instructed him in the first stage, a sequence of movements and meditations performed at dawn, in the silence before the world awoke. These practices were designed to anchor him, to build a foundation of unwavering focus and presence. As Aiden began, the struggle was immediate. His body resisted, his mind rebelled. The old voices of fear and doubt screamed louder in the stillness of early morning. But the ritual required that he show up, exactly as he was, without judgment or delay. Over days, the repetition began to chip away at his resistance. The practice became a mirror revealing his true self, flaws, fears, and all. The elders emphasized that Kagenomichi was not a quick fix but a lifelong journey. The path was less about conquering obstacles and more about becoming the kind of person who moves through obstacles naturally. They told Aiden that this transformation would ripple outward, affecting not just his combat ability but every aspect of his life, his relationships, his perceptions, his sense of purpose. Aiden's initial progress was slow. His comrades noticed his absence in social gatherings and whispered about his strange new routine. Some mocked him for chasing shadows, others watched with a mix of curiosity and doubt. But Aiden felt a growing fire within, a calm that began to anchor him against the chaos of the world. One night, as he sat alone practicing the ritual's meditation, Aiden confronted a profound fear, his own insignificance, the possibility that all his efforts might be for nothing. Instead of turning away, he leaned into the fear, welcoming it as part of his shadow self. In that moment, something shifted. The fear lost its grip, replaced by a quiet strength that surprised him. The path of shadows was beginning to work. What Aiden was learning, and what you are about to discover, is that becoming an unstoppable warrior is not about conquering others but mastering the self. It is about walking willingly into the darkness and emerging, not unscathed, but unbreakable. The ancient ritual of Kagenomichi teaches that the shadows we fear are the very crucibles that forge us into something greater. As you follow Aiden's journey, you'll uncover the rituals, the mindset shifts, and the hidden practices that transformed a struggling soldier into a warrior whose spirit could not be shattered. This is the first step on a path that few dare to walk, but those who do become legends not because they never fall, but because they rise with a power that transcends the ordinary. Are you ready to step into the shadows and begin your own transformation? The path of shadows awaits.